Words appear. Whose planned life is it anyway? In association with Sterling Creations and VIP Tech Productions present Ask Donna. Donna Jordan answers your questions and offers you tips and tricks on being an author, an expert, a sight loss coach, and an advocate. Ask Donna, the advocate.
Ho, 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 everybody. I am Donna J. Jodhen, and I am the host of Ask Donna. I am an award-winning sight loss coach, author, and most of all, advocate. And I'm pleased to be here with you for the month of December. We've made it to the end of 2022. We started our show in February of 2022. And I really want to thank my dear friend Victor Guvia for having given me this great opportunity to be with you and to share with you. Victor has given me the opportunity to wear various hats every week. And for 1 week I wear the hat of an advocate. The next week I wear the hat of an author. And the third week, I wear the hat of a coach. And the fourth week, I wear the hat of a so-called expert. So I am very, very lucky. I'm very fortunate, and I'm very pleased to be here with you for the month of December. I cannot believe that we are at the end of 2022. Where has this year gone? It's been a good year for me, personally, business-wise, and everything. And I hope that everybody is getting ready for this holiday season. I know it's going to be very different in several ways because of the ongoing economic conditions, because of what's going on in the Ukraine, because of so many things. And let's just put our heads down and keep on going. As good Canadians, as patient and passionate Canadians, as compassionate Canadians, we can do it. And we can help the rest of the world to do it as well. So, I want to thank all those who continue to listen to my show, not fall asleep before the end of the show, because I have two really great features to share with you at the end of the show. And those two features have been gaining a lot of popularity amongst my listeners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So don't fall asleep before the end of this show. Just wait for it. This week, I am going to wear the hat of an advocate. But before I start into my weekly show, like the gist of what my hat is giving me the opportunity to do, I am going to tell you what the features are for the month of December. Okay? For the advocacy show, we're going to be talking about what goes on at the Canadian Transportation Agency, or better known as the CTA. And for the author's hat, which will be next week, I will be talking about how you make things happen, especially so during the month of December and during the holiday season. Okay? Coach. For the coach's hat, on the third week, I will be talking about dealing with invisible stains. And for the fourth week, which I call myself the so-called expert, we're going to be talking about some accessible activities for the holiday season. Right then, folks, buckle up, get seated, or you should get seated first, buckle up, and let's get going. Okay? All right, so we are going to be wearing the advocate's hat for this week, right? And we're going to be talking about the Canadian Transportation Agency. How do you deal with complaints at the Canadian Transportation Agency? Who exactly is the CTA, or the Canadian Transportation Agency? Well, the CTA is there to hear complaints by complainants, mostly individuals, who have complaints against those companies that make up the travel agency. So it could be airlines, it could be railway lines, it could be bus lines, it could be ferry lines, it could be, companies like Air Canada, Air Transat, WestJet, any company that is federally governed in Canada, right? So these are the types of complaints that the CTA is supposed to hear. What is their role? Well, their role is to adjudicate complaints that we as individuals make against these federal entities. Their role is to be sure to be fair, to hear the complaints both by us as the complainant and by respondents, such as the airlines and the railways and anybody or any company that belongs to the travel industry. It could also be against, and I'm not sure about this, but it could also be against those travel companies which are federally governed or federally legislated. It could be also against cruise lines, and again, I'm not sure which cruise lines are federally legislated or federally governed. But that's what the CTA is supposed to do. Now, and we also should mention that the CTA hears complaints from us against persons like the Canadian Border Services Agency, CBSA, and CATSA, the Canadian Air Transportation Services Agency. So that's the CTA's role. They're supposed to hear these complaints, and they're supposed to, their role is to be fair to both complainant and respondent. All right? I will tell you, though, that if you go in there expecting a complaint to be solved, or I wouldn't say solved, or heard, solved, and, dealt with in any quick time, you're going to be terribly disappointed. I will tell you now, it takes years and years for the CTA to deal with anything. Now, things may be changing because of the Accessible Canada Act, but I doubt very much, and until I see this happening, I will keep on saying, manage your expectations and make sure that you're not going to expect any complaint that you lodge at the CTA to be resolved. Additionally, although they say that you should have no problem in representing yourself, I think, and this is highly difficult for us as Canadians with disabilities to do, try and find a lawyer who is versed and who knows what disability rights are all about, and who is willing and ready to help you. They're not cheap. But if you think and work hard enough, you might be able to find a lawyer. I have a law degree. I cannot represent you in court, but what I can do is to give you suggestions and advice, and would be happy to help you out. I cannot give you professional advice. I could give you informal advice. Okay? So please bear that in mind, and If you have any questions on this, you can write to me at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. Again, askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. Okay? All right. Now, I've been noticing that there are some websites that do not really inform you about the CTA. I'm not sure why this is, but I can only give you my personal opinion, and that is they would prefer for you not to go to the CTA because they don't know what will happen at the CTA, and if cases are resolved in the complainant's favor, or if anything for that matter, these cases are posted to the CTA's websites, and therefore it is publicized. The cases are publicized, and companies don't like publicity, right? Bear that in mind. So let's move on then to let you know that you can write to me at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. And if you would like to read, we are presently on a bit of a hiatus, but if you'd like to read about my blind lifestyle newsletter, please go to www.donnajodhen.com/tbln.html. Again, it's donnajodhen.com/tbln.html. All right? And if you'd like to learn more about my advocacy activities, you can go to www.sterlingcreations.ca/blog. Again, www.sterlingcreations, that's one word, STERLingcreations.ca/blog. There you will read all the editorials that I have written over the years on different aspects of advocacy. All right? Now, if you are still with us and you're not snoring away, I hope that you're not. I have now my favorite feature called the mental stretch. And I keep saying to people, listen, if you could have stretches for your neck, your arms, your legs, your back, your belly, your feet, your head, hey, why not have the mental stretch? And I truly believe that the mental stretch is very, very, very important for us, because we get to stretch our minds, our imaginations, and our creative juices. I call it the MIC principle, M-I-C, where you get to clear your minds and your imaginations of cobwebs and clutter, and you get to spark and stimulate your creative juices. Just think about it. You do this every day for a few minutes, and you'd be amazed to see how you can think better, think broader and wider, think deeper, and just be able to function more effectively mentally every day. I really, really urge you to get involved in my mental stretch. And if you have any question, please do not hesitate to write to me at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. Ask Donna on Blind Life is one word. So it's askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. I base my mental stretches on the senses. So it could be the sense of hearing, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, and the sense of touch. And we also incorporate the sense of sight into this. Because You need to be able to think and imagine. And then you put all this together in the mental stretch. Okay? So, for this week, it's all about using the sense of hearing. And as we are in the month of December, we're going to concentrate on hearing those melodious Christmas songs. Just think of it. Every song that I know of is filled with positive thoughts, is filled with happy thoughts, is filled with joy, it's filled with peace. So if you ask me what are two of my favorite songs, one being a traditional song and one being a more tempo song, like, one that is non-traditional. For the traditional song, my favorite song that I love to listen to, and when I hear it, I really, really enjoy lots of peace. It's Silent Night. Silent night, all is calm, all is bright. Think of it. Think of hearing it as you sit there, or as you stand in your kitchen listening to music. Just think about it. My non-traditional song goes to one by Michael Jackson called Some Day at Christmas, where Michael talks about how things would be much better when, we could enjoy peace on earth, where we can look forward to so much in an imperfect world that we live in right now, where we can take these thoughts that he expresses in his song and use it to let the words resonate and let our minds expand. Get rid of the cobwebs and the clutter. Do the same for your imagination and to spark your creative juices. Okay? And as Michael says, in a world where men are free. All right? Think of children laughing. And boy, they do a lot of laughing over the holiday season. And when Christmas approaches, they laugh even more. They laugh because they love to laugh, and they love to, laugh so that they are expressing their feelings of joy. Just listening to children laughing for me is it's like a tonic, right? You hear them laughing and you laugh too and you smile too. Yes indeed. All right. And the sound of the wind beating against your windows. Now some people may say, well, what's that about the sound of wind beating against your windows? You know what? Just listen to it. Sit quietly and listen to the sound of wind. It may be beating against your windows, or it may be whooshing by you as you walk along on the sidewalk, or you go for a brisk walk, right? With your friends and your family, or by yourself, it doesn't matter. The sound of wind. It's refreshing and it helps you. And you know what? You can incorporate the sense of sight into what I'm telling you about all this. Think of it this way. Think of seeing children laughing and playing. Think of seeing snowflakes jumping up and down. Think of it like that, okay? And think of carolers. You see these carolers all over the place, hustling and bustling, singing and bringing cheer and joy. So that's my mental stretch for this week. Think about it. I have used this strategy for years, and I find that it is one way to deal with what's all the stress and anxiety that surrounds us, that we have no control over. But what we have control over is how we think and what we think about, when we think about it, why we think about it. Think about it that way, okay? So, you want to know more? Send me an email and ask Donna at Blind Life. Ask Donna on blindlife@gmail.com. One more time, Ask Donna on blindlife@gmail.com. So, my second feature for this week is my virtual bento basket. How about this? A Christmas gift basket for our senior. Seniors are very lonely at times as they sit in their long-term homes. Yes, their families and friends come to visit them, but they're lonely and they really need, some cheering up, bring joy to them, and I hope that my bento basket for a senior this week is going to help. So here's what I'm going to put into my bento basket. I'm going to put the handy-dandy Rocher chocolates, which most people enjoy. I'm going to put in a tin of shortbread cookies. I'm going to put in a bottle of sweet scented hand lotion for them. I'm going to put in some sweet scented bars of soap for them. So that's 4 things you got so far. You got some Rocher chocolates, you got a tin of shortbread chocolates, you got some sweet scented hand lotion, you got some bars of soap. I'm going to put in a nice warm shawl for them that they can either throw around their shoulders or they can put on their laps to stay warm. And maybe some scented candles that they could have lit in their room. And as they sit there, they can look at the candles and have fun just thinking about it. Finally, one last thing. I'm going to put in a CD of Christmas carols for them. Okay? There you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed my show for this week. I hope that you are in the midst of your December celebrations, getting ready for the holiday season, spending time with friends and family, giving to others who are less fortunate, sharing with them, and just enjoying this time of the year. So, happy day to everybody. Happy times to everybody. Happy rest of the week to everybody. Thank you, Victor. And we will see you next week. Bye for now.
You can listen to Ask Donna every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway?